Hello, we're dating now. This is a that I'm sure that's how most first dates go, right, guys? You meet a person you're interested in and be like, "Hey, we're dating now. This is a date." Welcome back to the second episode of Season 2 of the Obscure Game Faceoff. In episode 1, we reviewed a bunch of Game Jam games, which really limited the game's potential. So in this episode, I turned off the Game Jam option, hoping we get some actual quality games instead of games made in a rushed time frame. Let's see how that went. We're starting off the episode with a game known as Impulse Soccer. Impulse Soccer has fucking banger music. But is its gameplay just as much of a banger as the music? Yeah, no, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it, this game is pretty boring. Here's my quick overview of the game. It's just a super simplified top-down view soccer game where the objective of each team is to score 3 times to win. You can play alone or face off with someone locally. The single player features near brain-dead opponent AI, so you'll probably get more out of the game playing locally with friends. But that's a lot easier said than done since this game isn't that fun. There are 4 different courses, each with different themes and music, and the ice hockey one having ice physics. And well, that's pretty much the whole game. The menu UI is pretty nice, the graphics are super simple, mostly just consisting of shapes. The music, as stated before, is pretty much the best part of the whole game. The gameplay itself, however, is boring and has signs of it being slightly incomplete. Saving replays don't work, and the stat screen, while nice, is still pretty bare bones. Overall, I'll rate this a 3.5 out of 10. I remembered falling down a lot while being forced to play soccer in school as a kid, and boy did I fucking hate it. That brings us to our next game, which is all about falling down. Fall Down is an extremely simple game where you control a ball that has to fall through gaps to escape the top side of the screen. The graphics are honestly pretty good. The gameplay, despite being extremely simple, is pretty fun the first few times you play. My only complaint is the fact that quite a bit of RNG is involved for the placement of the gaps you fall through. Sadly, there's absolutely no sounds in the game either, which should be the bare minimum considering how simple the game is. With how simple and straightforward the game is, I will be rating it a 3 out of 10. And now we move on from falling down to trying to lift people up with this Russian game, codename Stand Up. First and foremost, this is a Russian game, so my rating is based on me as a person who couldn't understand the language, so take my rating with a huge grain of salt. But despite that, I'm going to try my best and give it a chance because, as a few of you probably know from my one-hit wonder video, shameless plug by the way, I could transcribe Cyrillic, somewhat, so that helped me understand the game more. Basically, you play as a comedian trying to gain a reputation for yourself by doing things like dancing, making dad jokes, among other things to try to entertain people. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Such is the life of a comedian. You can entertain people who like you twice before they get bored. The best part of this game though, has to be the walking animation. Despite the creative concept, the lack of sounds, terrible camera, and worst of all, clear signs of an incomplete game, there's no progression after reaching the end goal of reaching 200 reputation. Well, because of all that, the game gets a 2.75 out of 10. As I said in the beginning, take my rating with an ocean's worth of salt due to me not understanding the language. But speaking of the ocean, we have our next game, Fishy Friday. Fishy Friday is a simple fish aquarium simulator game. Basically, the gist of this game is you collect essence by hovering your mouse on jumping fish. Essence is used to get more fish, different fish produce different essence. As you get more fish, the cost becomes more expensive, and yeah, that's pretty much the whole game. The gameplay is extremely bare bones and monotonous. The UI also leaves a lot to be desired. The lack of sounds really suck as well. So yeah, there's just nothing else much to say about the game, it's extremely bare bones. I'll just rate it 1.8 out of 10. Here's to hoping the developer improves this game, as it has potential actually to be any fun. We will now be moving on to a game I often hinted at in episode 1, the Excel sheet game, also known as La Serpiente. It's basically just classic Snake in Excel. I know, I probably hyped it up too much. You were all probably expecting like Counter-Strike or Cyberpunk 2077 in Excel. Let's be realistic here. It's still very impressive making a responsive, functioning game of Snake in Excel. It even has working scoring and high scores. So yeah, it's just a near perfect game of Snake made in Excel. Nothing more, nothing less. I just can't help but be very impressed by the developer's skill and effort for making this. But at the end of the day, it's just Snake, so I will rate this game a modest 3 out of 10. Now, I don't know about you, but I think snakes would make for a decent haunted house decoration. And well, that's where we're headed next, to the Jacko Manor in fact. Jacko Manor is a dungeon crawler game with procedurally generated rooms. You play as a pumpkin and have to kill enemies in a room to proceed. You need to find a boss room and a key to enter it. You start very weak at first, but as you kill more enemies, you get points that you can spend to make your character stronger. Once you max everything out, learn how dodging and enemies work, you should be able to explore the whole dungeon without dying. I honestly like this game a lot. The music and sounds are good, the graphics are great, and the gameplay itself is also pretty fun, though it's not exactly perfect. I find it really weird that you have to use WASD to move and the arrow keys to aim your attacks, instead of aiming it just based on your movement. Dodging is also pretty situational, only being effective against the charging ghost armor, but besides that, it's not really necessary to dodge at all. The enemy's hitbox also seems to be a lot larger than the sprites themselves, which was pretty annoying to me at first. Despite the enemies being a bit of a pain, especially that charging ghost armor, the final boss was actually such a pushover. The first phase was extremely easy to exploit. You just stay on the corner of the screen and reflect any balls that rush towards you back to the boss. You can pretty much reliably do it hitless. Other than that, there's nothing much to complain about in this game. It's complete, it's pretty fun, but isn't too replayable because after beating the boss, there's nothing much else to it. So I will rate the game a 5.75 out of 10. Just a random question out of the blue, have you ever wondered what it's like to date a demon? While I personally never wondered myself, this last game of the episode will fulfill that fantasy for you, featuring To Date a Demon. Unlike previous games, I have to show you my live playthrough of it, because I personally thought it was too entertaining not to show. I hope you enjoy this experience as much as I did. Here we go. Let's see, start. It appears you're in a cave and that's like a demon sitting over there. You could go sit down in front of it, you know, have a nice chit chat, or perhaps you could run away as fast as possible because that's a demon. Alright, let's sit down and chat with the demon, guys. Oh, here we go. Face! Face! Bro, you could have just copy pasted or something. Hello, we're dating now. This is a I'm sure that's how most first dates go, right guys? You meet a person you're interested in and be like, hey, we're dating now. This is a date. I'm sure that's how most first dates go, right guys? Right, anyway. Isn't that freaking awesome? I mean, like, I am going to kill you, but oh, never mind. Imagine if your first date went, I'm going to kill you. Yeah, you just get the fuck out of there. Call the police, man. Alright, but is this whole dating thing not awesome? Like, wow, you're kind of lucky. Do you understand? Well, considering you said I'm going to kill you, I think we lost all our luck ages ago. How do I leave immediately? Yeah, I love dating. It's one of my favorite things. Alright, I'm gonna try dating the demon, alright? Alright. OMG, you like dating too. Holy smokes. We have so much in common. Clearly, we're ultra compatible and need to begin dating immediately. Yes, you like dating? I like dating. That's a match made in hell. Like, wow, okay, let's do this. Ahem. What's your favorite color? we're gonna simp for the demon, okay? First storyline, we're gonna simp for the demon. Red. Wow, I'm red and your favorite color's red? That simply cannot be a coincidence. Golly, you must really like me in a romantic way, right? Like romantically romance, you romance me, likey me. Yes, I am totally, absolutely romantically interested in you. Wow, I must be super good at this. I mean, like, seriously, I've restated multiple times how much I wish to kill you. And the fact that I will murder you after this, like with this pitchfork that I'm holding. Are you genuinely stupid or something? Yes, I am stupid. Okay, that almost makes me not want to kill you. You know what? Yes, that's what we're trying to do, but the demon couldn't know that. We're simping for the demon so we actually survive. That's the plan, guys. Out of like pity, I thought humans were smarter, but a quick question first. What is your humble opinion on the color green? I hate it. Holy smokes, we have so much in common. I hate the color green too. We are now kind of freaking dating officially, seeing as we have so much in common. But I'm going to have to fucking kill you now, and I'm going to do it romantically though, so that's good for you. Sorry. Whoa, dating, I love it. Good job. Date successful, living unsuccessful. Oh my god, guys. This sort of game really reminds me of my childhood, man. I used to make stupid stories like this in MS Paint. Like, honestly. Wow. Well, that's what happens if you simp for the demon. I'll show you one more ending screen from the path where I tried to run away from the demon early on. Alright, now we're gonna run away from the demon. Oh hey, it looks like you're trying to run away from me for some odd reason. Can you stop doing that and sit down? No way. Game over, the demon freaking murdered you. Yep, that went as expected. There are other storylines that result in a good ending, but I'll let you figure it out for yourself. All in all, I don't really know what to rate this game, but one thing is for certain, this game definitely gets the Hidden Stinker Award for being hilariously stupid and getting a laugh out of me, and hopefully out of you guys as well. This game doesn't really take itself seriously, and neither will my rating. I will rate this masterpiece of a game a thematic 666 out of 10. And with our second award given away, that's the end of episode 2. Those were quite the games of all time we reviewed, weren't they? Especially that last one. Thank you guys so much for watching this chaotic installment of the Obscure Game Face-Off. And I'll see you in the third episode of the season, where we're gonna review and experience a bunch of bangers. So stay tuned, take care, and I'll see you then.